Welcome to day 2 of 30 days GST challenge. Under GST, there is a threshold limit for the registration purpose. Like in case of goods, it's 40 lakh and in case of services, it's 20 lakh. For certain special category states, it's 20 lakh for the goods and 10 lakh for the services. Under GST, there is a taxable event which we called as a supply. Unless and until a transaction is considered as a supply, it can't be taxed under the GST. Even without consideration, we can also say a transaction is considered as a supply. And there are certain transactions which we consider as a deemed supply as per Schedule 2. As per Schedule 3, there are certain activities which are outside the ambit of GST. That means they will not be considered as a GST supply. For supply, we have two parties. One supplier, one is recipient. Supplier is the seller who sells the goods or services, charge output tax, which is the liability at the end of seller. And the recipient who pays the tax can claim it as an input tax credit, which can be considered as an advance tax payment that ultimately can be set off with the output tax liability. Under types of supply, we can say if a supplier or a place of supply is in the same state, we will call it as a intra-state supply and will charge CGST and SGST on the same. But if the supplier and the place of supply are in different states, we will call it as a interstate supply and we will charge IGST, Integrated Goods and Services Tax. Likewise, in case of union territories, we have some union territories as you can see. Instead of charging CGST and SGST, in case of union territories, we charge CGST and UTGST as an intrastate taxes. Now, GST is charged on a taxable value. And how we can derive the taxable value? There are various methods. One of them is a transaction value, the price actually paid or payable for that particular goods or services. And there are some inclusion which we have to add in our taxable value, like commission, packaging, and there are some exclusion, like trade discount, which we have to deduct to determine our taxable value. Now, after getting the taxable value, on what rates we have to charge the GST. Under GST, there are some common rates like 5%, 12%, 18%, 28% and 0%. If we have an intra-state supply, we will divide the GST rate into half. Like in case of 5%, we'll charge CGST 2.5% and SGST 2.5%. And in case of interstate supply, we will charge IGST at the rate of 5%. Likewise, in case of 12%, 18% and 28%. Comment notes to get the PDF of Day 2 notes. And don't forget to follow for more simple GST lessons.